Do you feel that preparing your interim payment applications takes a lot of time? What if I told you that you can automate 70% of this process with just few simple steps? In this video, I'll show you how to use VLOOKUP and a progress sheet to create a streamlined automated payment application system that can save you hours of work. And let's start. Hello and welcome to Cost Engineering Professional. I am Ahmed Adel and here I help you develop the required skills and enhance your knowledge to elevate your cost engineering career. So if this is what you want, you can quickly subscribe. And with this out of the way, let me show you how can we automate our payment applications. So as you can see here, I have my project, which consists of site works, concrete works, sub and superstructure, and I have some masonry works. And here I have my template or my format for doing the payment applications. I've explained this in a previous video. I'll leave the link to that video in the description below in case you haven't seen it already, but for the time being, I'll just focus on automating the payment application. So let's say here payment application number. And why do I need this? Because I'll show you now how it can be done. I'll say that this is payment application number 1. And actually here on the other side, I have a progress sheet. So I'm assuming that this project will be executed in 5 months. What I need to do now is that I need to link this progress sheet to my payment application template or format so that I can just every month go and update the progress sheet and I'll get my payments automatically. So this is basically what we are going to do. And to do this, I want to link the progress to the payment application number, which is 1 in this case. So let me start with the total here. So the total will be equal to VLOOKUP. So I'm going to VLOOKUP, or I'm going to look up this value here from the item description column. So for example, excavation. And then I'll do a comma. It will ask me for the table array. So the table array will start from, and this is very important, it should start from the item description column. So my array will start from here and it will be up to here, let's say. So this is my array starting from column C up to column J and from row number 2 up to row number 24. So this is my array. Then after that, I'll go for a comma. And in this case, I'm looking for the total work done by the end of the first month. So here for me, it will be this column number 1. So here it is asking for the column index number. And because this array is starting from column C, so for me, column C will be column number 1, this will be column number 2, column number 3, and this will be column number 4. So I'll write here 4 for the time being, then again comma, and I'll choose false for exact match. So false, and I'll hit enter. So it's telling me 0% here. If I go and just put in this cell something like 75% just to make the formula. So as you can see, it is reading the 75%. Now the total will always be here in payment application number 1. The total is column number 1 and the previous is column number 0. So I want to link this column number, I want to link it with the payment application number somehow. So if I want column number 4 here, this can be 3 plus this number here. So when I press enter again, now I have linked the column somehow to the payment application number. So when I am doing payment application number 2, it will go and say like 3 plus 2. So it will be column number 5. So it will be reading the total from column number 5 in my progress sheet. And I just need to like adjust few things here. So I'll $sign the column here, column C. I want this to be fixed, column C, because now I'll copy this formula. I don't want this column to move. And for my array, I want to $sign both the column and the row for both ends of the array. So just $sign for the column and the row for here. For this C2 and for J24, I want to make sure that if I copy this formula and paste it somewhere else, this array will remain fixed. It will be only reading from that array. It will not move. This is a very important part. And here for the cell number D2, which is the payment application number, again, I want to fix both column and row because I always want the formula to read from this cell in particular. And again, I'll press enter. So if I copy this formula here, In the previous, as you can see, it's still reading 75%. Why? Because it is reading now from column number 4, 3 plus 1. Column number 4 here is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the column 1. But I want the previous to read from this column, which will be now column number 3. So in that case, I can say, instead of 3 plus 1 or 3 plus the payment application number, I want to make here something that gives me column number 3. This should be 2 plus the payment application number. So if I make this 3, if I change it into 2, then it will be 0. So now the column that I am reading for the previous here is column number 3, which is this one, because this is 1, 2, and this is 3. So here I am saying 2 plus 1, which is the payment application number. So column 3, which I am reading or I am getting this value from. And here I am using column number 4. So it's fine. Now all I have to do is to just copy this and I'll put it everywhere like this. Here. So everything is 0 except for the excavation, because in the progress sheet I don't have any progress yet. So here 0 means the start of the project or the start of the first month. So everything here is 0. I don't have any progress so far. So I'm just going to keep 0 here for the previous, for all the items. And by the end of the first month, what is my progress? So let's say we have completed the piles 100% and the excavation also 100%. And this will be my payment application for the first month. So as you can see here, nothing is happening. Only I am getting an update of the excavation 100% and the piles as well 100%. And down here I have my value for the first payment. So I'll just paste this value here. And we also have an advance payment. So let's say 0.15 into the contract value. I am assuming advance payment is 15%. So I took the advance payment after we signed the contract. Then we worked for 1 month and we will be getting this value. Again, if you need more details on the template and all these formulas, the link to that video where I created this is in the description. Now I want to do the payment application number 2. So I will just come here to my progress sheet, and here everything is 0 or was 0 for the first month or the end of the first month, except for the 2 activities that we updated here. So excavation and pile cap. So now I am at the end of month number 2. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. And this is the progress until the end of month number 1. Now I want the total work done or the total progress by the end of month number 2. So by the end of month number 2, let's say we have finished half of the substructure or something. So we have finished pile caps, we have finished the neck columns and 50% of the ground beams and 50% of the backfilling. So this is my progress for month number 2. And what happens here? First, I need to change this into payment application number 2. So when this is number 2, the total of payment application number 1 will become previous, and now I am getting a new total from my progress sheet. And I am getting here the payment amount. So I'll just paste it here. Then I will do now payment application number 3. So all I have to do is to put 3 here. And I will go take this progress and put it here. And now I am at the end of month number 3. So what did I finish? Let's say we finished the ground beams full, slab on grade full, and let's say excavation or backfilling full as well. And let's put some percentages here. So let's put 100% for the columns, 100% for the beams, 100% for slabs, and 100% for staircase. So this is my progress by end of month number 3, let's say. And what happens here? Again, I am just getting the payment. How much is the payment value for payment number 3? So this will be my payment. Now I want to do number 4. So all I have to do is to change the payment application number into 4. And I'll copy this progress. Again, remember, this is the total work done until the end of month number 4. So in month number 4, what is the difference between 4 and 3? Let's say that in month number, we have completed the parapet and we have completed 50% of the block work. So this is my progress now. And I'll get a payment of 56,000 here. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. And then now let's do payment application number 5. So I'll put 5 here, and I'll go, and by the end of month 5, the project is finished and you have finished everything. So everything here should be 100%. So this should be 100 and this should be 100. Now my progress sheet here is updated also, and we have completed the project. So if I copy this and paste it here, and also I have here the retention. So the total retention is 51,240, which is 10% of the contract. After the DLP, this retention will be released. So once this retention is released, we will see that we have taken everything from the contract, because the contract is 512, 400, and the total here, this is the advance. And these are the 5 payments that we did together here using this automated template. And then there is the retention, and the summation of these 7 payments will be your contract value. And as always, I'll keep a link in the description below if you want to download this template. And if you want to know more about the quantity surveyor duties and responsibilities, I recommend you watch this video here. It's a nice video and you will like it. And that will be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.